Welcome to my next live. If you have a look at this next live, I am at the restaurant and I'm living a life that was only imaginable some time ago. I'm sitting in a restaurant all by myself, or one person. I walked in. I come sit here. I love that I get to have space. I get to have leisure if I so choose. Yeah, I could get a proper plate. I actually do have a proper plate, and I can put it on a proper plate if I want, or I cannot. I think I had a question. Sauce or no sauce? And I would have thought my answer would have been no sauce, but no. I changed my mind. Sauce, definitely. It's alright. Sauce, definitely. I get to sit by myself. But this is what I want to share with you actually. The redefinition of what wealth is. Where I am sitting at the moment financially, it's not one of the best positions I've ever had. Because in this phase, we are busy sponsoring the children's education. We are busy making crazy decisions to establish the children. My bank account has been fuller than some other episodes in my life. Better. But I'm also realizing that there has never been another episode in my life where I have been in such control of how I spend my time. I have been overdoing, overachieving, overrunning, stressing myself for a long time. And I could not justify stopping because there was so much to do. There was so much to see. There was so much needed. Tony, good morning, bro. And I was always all guns blazing home. I lived under obligation for a long time. In some ways, I'm still obligated to some things. I've chosen to be married, so I'm obligated to my spouse. I also want us to make sure we don't forget that. I'm obligated to my spouse. At least I have an obligation of checking, of disclosure, of alignment. However, the obligation to get up. I have about 200 papers to mark. They are there. But I am allowed to have breakfast. I permit myself to have a walk this morning and then have breakfast. And then settle down to do some work. and then go shopping. And for me, I'm at the moment shopping may well be buy one t-shirt or maybe no t-shirt at all. Maybe even no t-shirt. Beatrice. And you know, now that I'm making these decisions, I'm living this experience. It hit me. What I am experiencing is what wealth is. Not just having a large bank balance. I've had larger bank balance, but very little choice. No. Wealth gives you agency. Tony, I'm in Manchester. I've been in Manchester for the last 3 days. I'm leaving today. I'm in Manchester. Listen to me. In the heart of Manchester. Wealth is to come to your home city, which houses your home, and not need to go to your home. Yeah, that's how wealth is being redefined for me, by me, through me. Of all the things going on in Manchester, there's a lot going on. Of all the things I could do, wealth is choosing to come sit in this little corner and have a breakfast spread that you can select from. Wealth allows you to pick, not because it makes sense, especially not because it makes sense to anybody else, but because you choose to do so. Wealth is when I've got this chocolate that I know is not really good for me, and so I'll eat half instead of the full thing. And not feel held hostage because of how much it costs. Wealth is an element of control you get. Like a presentation with choice. An invitation for you to exercise franchise as well. Wealth is knowing that your own company excites you. When you feel no compulsion to fill space, yeah. When you and your friends can sit down and talk. And you can align and have respect for yourselves, for each other. Wealth is knowing that your network is mature. When you get deliberately slow and choose without needing to justify, and especially without anybody who has the capacity to overrule your wealth. My day is going to be spent how I want. Enabled and facilitated. Merci beaucoup. Kumba, how you doing? Enabled and facilitated by some incredible humans. Last night, I walked off telling 2 of my people that I leave this evening. Both of the people said, so what time? I said, I probably need to leave for the airport around about this time. So when do you check out of your hotel? 11. What will happen after you check out of the hotel? I've not decided yet. We'll see. I got 2 offers. I come and pick you. And if not, you can make yourself. You can find your own way here. I'll leave you keys. You can chill in my house. I may be back to take you to the airport. The second offer? I said, I don't know. I may be at this other location. Well, when you're ready for the airport, let me know. I might be able to take you to the airport. And I realized this thing. A cappella. Wealth and maturity of systems is so different from the hustle. For the last 2 years at least, I've been coming to this city for this assignment. Last year, when I was here, one of my friends picked me up. On our way to the airport, obviously, I can eat airport food. It's like, no. I stopped in this lovely Turkish restaurant. We made a stop in this beautiful, of course you are invited, beautiful Turkish restaurant in Charlton. Charlton is one of my favorite places in Manchester. We sit, we eat. And then he takes me to the airport. Comfortably. The company who brings me here buys me train tickets that I don't use sometimes. I have the option to exercise my train ticket from here to the airport. I do have that option. But I also do have the option to ride with good friends in comfort, talking, chilling. And wealth is actually being okay with both. On my ride in, no, we don't ask anybody. I don't inconvenience anybody. My train ticket was ready. I jumped on the train and I had a peaceful experience to hear. I have spent time with my own thoughts. If you're a baby. I find myself very excited. I think I'm so cool. I think it's very cool. So my idea of redefined wealth is this right here. To have a family I adore, I would tell all of them to have a family I adore, to cue in when I cue in, to still be able to have some of these personal experiences. You talk to people and they're like, oh, I took my first solo trip at 68. It's great that they are getting to have their solo trip at 68. I'm not disrespecting that at all. But for me, to have had the opportunity to do that before I was half of that age, man. Every time I speak to my family about this, my daughter is still so salty about a trip I took to Florida in 2018. 4-day trip for an assignment, but it was solo. I have been married for a long time, and I have also been blessed to have solo experiences consistently for a long time. It allows you to have the best of both worlds. It allows you to enjoy and sample from various domains. That is wealth, I have discovered. That is wealth. I want to redefine this wealth for myself, because I myself have not had this definition. And so I have still remained on the pursuits, sometimes when I have already arrived. Mentally, I have not allowed myself the few I made it moment at strategic points, because actually few I've made it. I just didn't recognize it. I am one very wealthy woman, not because I have a healthy bank account, not because I drive the latest nothing. I fly economy, and I don't feel compelled to change. I will not even buy extra legroom, and I'm doing it on Qatar Airways. That's cool. That's cool. When I get to have Haagen-Dazs on an airline as my dessert, yeah. When I have spicy fried rice, yeah. That is a re-engineered wealth for me, because that was not always possible. That's not always been possible in my history. To be able to sleep through meal times on an airline. Usually, I was so starving on my flights that I was like that, waiting for the food, yeah. That you get to stop at the airport and eat sometimes before, or somebody feeds you before they drive you to the airport. And you've had such a great meal that you don't even want to exercise a franchise to what is on the trolley on the flight. Now that's wealth. Wealth, Ajo, is feeling pensive and thoughtful and realizing that on your phone, without any preamble, you can turn your phone on and start sharing your thoughts, and still have these wonderful people who will come keep you company and talk to you. Yeah, Tony, that's wealth. Wealth is choosing how you cue in. Yeah, Babadi, how you deal in. Wealth is about choice. It's about being able to exercise your preferences. That is wealth. Wealth is having children who don't need you to be dancing around right now to do nothing. They are mine. They are my children. I'm in love with them. But I don't need to be slaving over nothing this morning for either of them. Pure wealth. pure wealth. The smile on my face now is realization that I'm not doing badly, that I'm doing all right, that the bank account is not the only indication. The bank balance is not the only indication of progress. Wealth is you saying to people, "Ooh, I need £14,000 for something, but I might need to, I'm in the middle of, let's say no more." There you go. Wealth might not be in your bank account, but it might be available in your systems. Having wealth within your network is your wealth. Friends who turn around and say, "How much do you need?" There you go, no questions. That's wealth. And if you have those things, don't disrespect it, don't disregard it. I want you to acknowledge it. I was disregarding them, not necessarily purposefully. No. It was just, I don't even know, lack of awareness. But yeah, wealth is having friends who have cars that can avail cars to you in places where you don't have cars. Pure wealth, baby. I was saying to my friend, "Oh, I could have had a car if I wanted a car rental under this thing. I could have booked a car from the airport." Being content with yourself, knowing, pure wealth, Tony. But it takes a long process to get here. You don't just one day get here and you are content. The wealth is in the journey to this place as much as it is in the arrival. Pure wealth. In sitting here knowing that I am missing out on nothing by doing none of the things that are happening around me. Knowing what brunch would people have this morning that I'm jealous of? None. I've had my fill of a breakfast that I choose. Yeah. Last night, people were here jumping through hoops. "Good morning, Osman. Salaam alaikum, Habibi. Kif halik?" And I was in the middle of this place knowing that I didn't need to jump to do nothing. Yeah. Pure wealth. Anyway, the other side of my wealth is being able to choose to work on my terms. I'm about to go sit, do 2 hours of script marking and core stuff, and then settle back down to maybe some shopping. I need to go to Chinatown to go and buy the 1 jar of a chili oil that my daughter and I favor. Pure wealth. I am walking into Chinatown just so I can buy one thing. You can go to places now and select the one thing you need. I'm walking around, people are asking me, "Do you need anything? Do you want anything?" No, I don't. No, don't want it, don't need it. It's amazing. But pure wealth. Good morning, Fidel. Let's say. So, I hope my new redefinition of wealth helps put things in context for you, and hopefully helps more of you to redefine yours earlier and to appreciate the experiences you are having and not to miss out on some of the enjoyment you will get from early realization. I'll see you guys later.